Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Welcome. It's been a while. Winter has certainly set in and brought with it some stillness. And the rhythms of daily life have certainly followed suit. Though I still try to get out on sunny days and connect with nature. For me, a soulful life is filled with intentional moments. It's marked by conscious effort, and some days that means dragging myself out of bed and out of the house. It was in embracing this inner knowing that I felt truly saved. This from a former Catholic girl who graced the holy waters of many pools and every denomination, just to be on the safe side. Coming to in a hospital bed with a new understanding of this inner knowing was simple as coming up for air, the cold river water no different than needles burning. Knowing and then cultivating a life to honor that knowing belies simplicity. Everything about my life now as I transition to rural living proves it. Most things are a learning curve, and not every trusted response from my former life rings true here. We never came here because we thought it would be simple living, though. We came to honor some inner longing that felt truer and more alive than the life we were living. So much of my former life distanced me from the natural world, from the rhythm of ebb and flow, from the seasons. And over time, I became disconnected with the rhythms of my own body, my own being in the world. My autoimmune dis-ease, they say, was likely triggered by several factors. A perfect storm, if you will. One thing was perfectly clear. Life as I had come to know it was no longer sustainable for my well-being. It may be true that the genetic expression of my autoimmune issues was fed through years of reward or shame eating, overuse of antibiotics, childhood trauma often minimized in the face of resiliency rhetoric that was valued in social circles, or the mysterious foreign bacteria ravishing my innards, maybe even the stress that had felt more normal than the stillness of waiting to be picked up by an absent father. Yes, it was likely all of this and more.
Come on, let's go.
Reconnecting to the natural world. Earthing was the beginning of my healing. Watching the Earthing documentary and later reading the book really became a source of hope at a time when movement felt like the death of me. When every step seemed to cost more than the joy of arrival. It was comforting to know that simply standing or sitting on the earth, touching the soil, could activate my parasympathetic nervous system and normalize my cortisol rhythm and stress responses. Right now, I'm so grateful for the life that led me here, for the interconnectedness that unites us, and this opportunity to prioritize my well-being for as long as I can. I don't regret my former life. It was filled with meaningful relationships and meaningful contributions to an ideal larger than myself. It simply became a life unlived, a life that I outgrew and can no longer thrive in because, quite frankly, it demanded too much of my worth. Even though this is a mild winter for Colorado, the shift in the air and in me is discernible. The pace of life has slowed, and the milestones achieved in the cold seem hard won. I'm finding it's true what they say. The winter stillness calls forth a quietness of spirit, a call to nourish myself and loved ones, a time to go inward, reflect, and let go. headed out to the land to make some final decisions about the building site because we have to turn in a site plan for the permit. As if I needed any reminder that I am not in control of all things. We are a bit behind, at least in terms of what we were hoping to be, but we are still moving forward and getting all the numbers together in terms of what the setback's going to look like from the easement, and just trying to make sure that we have the best possible ground for them to anchor the building once it arrives. A few years ago, while visiting a friend of ours in the Rocky Mountains, my husband came upon a field of deer and fed them food morsels from his palm. Today, he's walking among the neighbors' free-range cows on our land, and I can't help but feel the circle closing. Through life, there will be glimpses of joy so pure that our heart blooms and opens to the present fully. It's this moment we often find ourselves chasing when societal pressures close in to claim our wildness. It's this moment a brave few of us will risk everything to capture.
Out with Amari today, doing a little climbing. It's early afternoon. We're gonna head up this hill. Here she is, choking on wood as usual to keep the wood out of her mouth. So yeah, we're gonna head up this hill. Come. So we're taking a bunch of rocks from the land down to the giant hole inside of our easement, trying to fix that to make it possible for them to drop off our building.
I can't move it.
Feel it, you gotta move it.
I can't. It's too heavy.
So the goal here is really not to completely fill this up and level it out, but to make the ravine on the edge of the dirt road not quite as deep, and while still allowing for drainage in case there is like a heavy snow or rain. We just want to make sure that that's not going to be dangerous for anyone who happens to be driving on it. Eventually, we are talking about some different possibilities, probably initially applying lime to stabilize the road. But I think the overall goal would be to either have gravel brought in and compacted, or some type of base. But I think this will do for now. At least we're hoping so.
I'm hoping that you're going to be able to see the moon coming up over the mountain. That is a lot of zooming, but maybe you get the idea. On this side, you can see the sunset. may have just missed it.